our good friends on Zoom. And today, my name again is Dani Nadalko. And today we have a topic. I love this topic. What is the vitamin that most doctors don't talk about? There's one thing that most medical professionals, and I love my doctor. I have an amazing doctor. There are many, many amazing doctors, in the world, but some of them don't check this specific vitamin, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, and why it controls your immune system. So as you're joining, hello there and welcome. Those of you who are here from Europe, we have Aidan, Asurnik, and we have Edina, and we have Raina, we have Maria. We have very, very different people from different platforms. We also have, we're live on Facebook, in our Facebook page as well. So it's just good to be, it's good to be alive today. So, as you can see, there are many things happening today. I want to talk to you about a specific vitamin. And thank you for all the heart emojis there on Instagram. It's incredible. If you are here on Facebook, please let me know where is that you're connecting. Today is our health and beauty call. And we're connecting on my profile, on NH Global profile. We're all over the place. Is amazing. So let's go ahead and get to our topic. And if you're on Zoom, also let me know where is that you're connecting from. I think we have a person from Hungary. Yes, we have Maria, and we do have Alitza. We have different people. So hello there and welcome. And do we need interpretation? I guess so, right? All right.
Yes.
So if you are on Zoom, we do have Hungarian interpretation, so you can ask a friend or ask me if you want to. If you're Hungarian, you can get your translation, and you can also listen to me in Hungarian. Anyways, so going back to our main topic, which is what is the vitamin that most doctors don't check. And yes, you can just, as you're logging in, just type your name, your country, type, because we're in different platforms, type words that you're connecting from, the city, and it's gonna be incredible. So anyways, we do have different connections, so if you can't hear as well in one platform, you can go to the next one. We're on Facebook, Instagram, we're on TikTok, and we are also on Zoom, so in YouTube. Now, going back, as I was telling you, to what is this vitamin? You're gonna be like, well, just tell us what it is. And let me tell you something that shocked me before this call. I was just going through some videos, doing some research, because I always love to prepare. I love health and wellness, even though I'm not a doctor. And I also have to, let me see, I have my Ukrainian friends and Hungarian friends just kind of like turn off your microphone because we're live. But anyways, thank you for being here. I was doing some research. This full disclosure, and there's a lot of people here. We have, is that you, Ruben? Is that you, Ruben? Maybe that's you. If that's you, just type it here in the chat. If it's you, hello to Macedonia and to all the beautiful Balkan people in this world. We love you guys. Anyways, so full disclosure, yes, that's my friend Ruben. Thank you for being here, superstar. And he is a part of our corporate team. He's an amazing, amazing person. If you see, our customer support, those of you who are on my profile, we own a health and wellness brand, which we're broadcasting on Facebook as well, NH Global and Butters. There are people, amazing people behind the scenes making things possible. When you go to customer support, our people are amazing. So anyways, thank you for being here, superstar. Going back to our full disclosure, we are not intending to cure, to treat, or to diagnose any disease. I am not a doctor, nor am I wanting to be. I'm not a medical professional. I don't hold all of these beautiful, nice titles that some people do. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I am an enthusiast. I am an enthusiast and a vivid fan of health and wellness. And therefore, I, along with our scientists in our company, with our doctors that help us design our products, I love to develop products. So that's who I am. If you see me here, I love marketing. Anyways, let's go to the topic. Long story short, we are not here to tell you what to do with your health. You should always consult your physician, your PCP, so you can have the best health ever. And even before you try any supplement, not even our supplements, you should always, talk to your medical professionals. So let me tell you something that shocked me when I first learned about it. Your immune system, our immune system, actually has cells, special cells called T cells, whose job is to detect abnormal or damaged cells and eliminate them before they even become a problem. Yes, so I'm going to repeat that. Our body, our immune system a special has special cells called T cells. And you can actually go and Google this or go to ChatGTP and you're going to learn what it is. But the crazy part, let me tell you, those cells literally cannot activate properly if your vitamin D levels are too low. Yes, you and I have the ability to fight infection, to fight degenerated cells, to fight anything. But when we lack of nutrients, and today we're going to talk about vitamin D, if we don't have proper levels, our bodies cannot activate those cells. Yes, your immune system has soldiers and they're waiting for vitamin D to give them the signal to fight. So let's say that, I don't know, you've been fighting something that you don't even know about. And if your vitamin D levels are at optimal levels, your body will knock off this infection, this disease, specific diseases, not all of them, but those who have to do with degenerated cells or things that have to do with vitamin D. If you have optimal levels, you eventually will not even know that you had the disease. Sometimes we do, but we actually fight it better. Now, today I'm going to explain why vitamin D is not just a vitamin. It actually is a hormone that controls immunity, and why vitamin K2 works together with vitamin D, and why these two nutrients are critical for cell regeneration, immune defense, and long-term health. So if you care about your immune system, and just type here in the chat, some hands, some emoji. If you care for your own immune system, if you really want to learn more how to get better, just type here an emoji or just type number one if you do love or would like to hear about this. Thank you so much. So now that I say this, I want to ask you to stay with me for the next 10, 20 minutes. I'm not going to be here for long, but I want to really bring some important information for you and everybody else. Maybe you can pass on this video. Maybe this is a short reel, because we usually do videos and short reels. Just pass it over. Maybe somebody needs this information or will need it in the future. Now, why vitamin D is so important. And thank you to all of my friends on Instagram and different platforms. Thank you for being here. And why is it so important? Why? What do you think is important? I want to tell you one thing, and not only one, but several of them. Vitamin D is, I believe, one of the most misunderstood nutrients in medicine. Most people think it is just about bones, just about what's the sun and those things. But in modern research, we have seen that is something that is deeper. Some functional nutrition experts and some doctors consider vitamin D as even a hormone or a type of a hormone. Vitamin D influences immune regulation, enhances the ability for our bodies to respond to inflammation, hormone balance, cell growth, and even gene expression. So you might be thinking, well, that's weird. I've never heard that. This is too much for me. I'm going to explain it in simple terms. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I like simple things. And I'm gonna explain you what this means for us. Scientists discovered that vitamin D receptors exist in almost every cell in our body. So our entire body, from hands to our nails and hair and our skin, it has receptors of vitamin D. And that means that this vitamin is actually acting more like a master regulator of health. And one of the most fascinating roles is that it has a relationship with T cells. I love to call T cells like T-Rex cells. Why? Because those cells actually are the ones that go and kill disease. Those are the ones that fight for things in our body. Now we're gonna be having, questions and answers. If you have any questions in any platform, I would love for you to just give them to me at the end of this call. We're about finished, but the role of the T cells, what are those T cells that I call T-Rex cells? Our immune system is incredibly intelligent, and it has different types of immune cells, and they have weird names. I'm gonna do my best to pronounce them, have them here in my notes. Macrophage cells, natural killer cells, B cells, and T cells. And T cells are particularly important because they act like detectives and soldiers at the same time. So it's really interesting because their job is to identify infected cells, detect abnormal cells, and destroy the threats before they even spread. So if you've never seen a National Geographic video about T cells, I'm going to invite you to go and do some research how they work, because eventually, it's not magic that some people, have chemotherapy or different treatments for cancer and they heal and others don't. Do we know the secret? We don't. Not even doctors know it, because we can have the same dosage of a specific medication, or combined with supplementation or with good nutrition, and the results are different because everybody has a different biology. It has a different scenario inside of their body, because we can look really healthy. However, inside we could have a mess and we don't even know it. So that is why it's important that we stay up to date on all of our health provider visits, that we, especially women, go and get your mammogram done before it's too late. After you're 27 years old, we are all supposed to have a mammogram every single year. It's more painful. A lot of people say, well, it's painful to have a mammogram, but you know what? It's more painful to know that you have cancer and it's too late. Yes, go and get your pap smear. Go and get your colonoscopy. Those are things that we should care for. You might think is, well, I don't know. I don't want to spend money, but you know what? It is better to invest in you, not only in education, because me and my husband are big in investing in education and skills, but also in your own body, because you can fight disease before even gets detected. Why? Because our bodies are amazing, not because we use a supplement or we use this or that or the other, but we can start having good nutrition first, and then we can go and get tested for different things. So anyways, going back, when a T cell detects a potential threat, it needs vitamin D to activate it properly. Without sufficient vitamin D, the immune response may not be optimal. So that's why many researchers now consider vitamin D as one of the most important immune support nutrients for the body. So if you have a chance, I'm gonna invite you, I'm gonna encourage you to go and get tested for vitamin D3. Can go and get tested. Go and get tested to a local lab and just say, you know what, or go to your physician, which is the most recommendable thing to do. Go and have a talk and tell them, I want to see how my levels of vitamin D are. And if you want to expand it, go and do or your annual checkup to see how you are doing inside. Now, why most people are deficient with vitamin D3 or vitamin D? Here's the problem. Modern life is practically designed to create vitamin D deficiency. Yes, when we're on our screen, when we're sitting down, we're inside, we're not outside enough. Think about it. Most people spend their days indoors. We use sunscreen constantly. You know, it's good to use sunscreen, but we also need to get some vitamin D at some point. We work under artificial lights. We live far from the equator. Yes. And sunlight is actually the primary natural source of vitamin D. And your skin, our skin, produces it when we're exposed to the UVB light. But when we spend most of our lives inside, our body is not going to produce it enough. Now, that's why blood testing for vitamin D levels have become increasingly common nowadays. And I'm going to invite you to go ahead and just invest in you. Go and get tested and see how your levels are today or tomorrow, whenever you get a chance. But why vitamin K matters? Because you can have vitamin D and that's fine, but you need something else for you to take advantage of this amazing vitamin D. Now, here's something even more interesting. Vitamin D does not work alone. It works together with another nutrient called vitamin K2, which I was telling you about. And, think of vitamin D as the nutrient that helps absorb the calcium. Vitamin K2 acts like the traffic director. So it helps ensure that calcium goes to the right places in the body, to the bones, to our teeth, and not into the arteries. Yes, because you don't want those things in your arteries. Now, this partnership between vitamin D and K2 is extremely important for people who have cardiovascular health issues, bone strength issues, cellular signaling issues, and metabolic imbalances. Yes, and maybe you might be thinking, well, that doesn't have to do with me, but that doesn't have to do with you yet, because we will all face, after we're 50, after we're 60, we will all face some type of cardiovascular, decay, because that's what the body does. We age. We're not Superman or Superwoman. We're not. We are aging, and that's one of the core principles that we have in my own life, which is longevity. I love talking about longevity. I love talking about nutrition. I love talking about being good from the inside out, mental health and all those things. But going back to our topic, immune health is super important. And how can we support it naturally? So when people ask me about, supporting immune health, I was just really look at fundamentals first. First of all, proper nutrition, you know, enough sunlight exposure, a good sleep, regular movement, and key macronutrients. Now, vitamin D and K2 are a part of our foundational approach. They support the body's natural systems and help maintain balance and resilience. Yes. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. I have been using different devices, and I'm not going to be here promoting them, but I use devices to measure my health, from how much I sleep to, how is my resilience, what is resilience, how you recover from, not sleeping enough and not eating well or having an illness. Now, those markers are super important. If you are able to invest in your own health, I'm going to invite you to get yourself tested, go to the doctor, and if you're able to get a device, it could be a watch, it could be, a ring, it could be, a scale or something. Go ahead and have those things in mind so you can invest in yourself. So let me ask you something to finish up. Have you ever been tested for vitamin D levels? Just type it here in the chat on Instagram or any other platform or here on Zoom. Have you ever been tested for vitamin D levels? Type number 2 if you have, type number 3 if you have not. Let me see. Type number 2 if you have been tested, number 3 if you have not. So, did you know your number? So, if you have been tested, just type your numbers here. And if you found this information helpful, please do two things. Okay, so go ahead and get tested. Those of you who have not gotten tested, go and get tested, and you're gonna see how things are changing. Now, once you get tested, I'm gonna give you another tip. If you are a customer of ours, we have amazing drops that have those two vitamins, vitamin D3 and vitamin K2. I'm going to challenge you. If you have not gotten tested, go ahead and get tested and then start taking these consistently. 2 droppers in the morning, 2 droppers at night. That's like the daily dosage. I think that's 1 dropper at night, 1 dropper in the evening. Not 2. You can do 2 and 2. That's fine. That's double dose, which is even better. And then go and get tested. 30 days later, go and get tested. You're gonna see the comparison, and I'm gonna challenge you to do that. Even if you're taking the product consistently, go and get tested, because you need to know your numbers, and then just come back to us, and then we'll just send us to support your readings. If you're a customer, I don't know, we want to know about how you're doing, and I think it's going to be really interesting. And those of you who are part of our community, those of you who are actually promoting our products, which have a side income attached to it. You don't have to be selling things, but you can promote what you love and what you take and what you like, and you still can get paid very well. So if you're part of our community, I'm gonna challenge you to do the same thing. And then we're going to be doing some social media postings, and I don't know, maybe we'll throw some promotion for you, those of you who are going to do this challenge, the vitamin D test. Send me an email to Danny@newhopeglobal.com. Send me an email to Danny@newhopeglobal.com if you're going to enter this challenge of getting tested, this week or anytime soon. And then we're gonna go and review a month ahead. And if you send me an email with your testings, I will make sure that you get a surprise from me. So anyways, I'm gonna leave you here. Thank you so much. We're gonna go back in Espanol with the same topic, same channels. You can stay connected. We're not gonna be on Zoom for Espanol, but we're gonna be on Zoom for Espanol, not on Zoom, but on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you very soon.